never do that. It's just a great.
And I was the only one that was actually, besides my boyfriend who got arrested in response to me getting arrested. He did a mic check in right outside of the precinct there. Yeah, he did a mic check and he said, "Is this the America you want to live in, where every time you try to speak your First Amendment rights, you're thrown out the door?"
So true.
I saw the video. It looked like a kidnapping to me. When that plainclothesman slid up next to you.
And I see them coming. So my plan was I had the exit to the left. I was going to say the speech one more time, and I was just going to quietly exit. You know, the way flash mobs do. They just quietly disperse.
They pushed you down the stairs, too, to get rid of you. They didn't want the public to see you.
They carried me. Yeah. I was like, I can walk, you know.
There's a photo of you being carried down the hall,
they didn't want the regular tourists.
Yeah, they're carrying me like a baby. I was like, it was amusing.
So much.
I'm only 110 pounds. I'm just glad that they didn't use like excessive force on me, because New Year's Eve they tackled me with 4 cops. 4 cops on top of me on the pavement.
Were you arrested on New Year's Eve?
I was arrested on New Year's Eve because I refused to come down from the mountain of barricades.
That was a beautiful day.
It was.
Stop arresting the press.
How long did it take to get out? Looks like that every time.
We're tired of it.
How long did it take to get out of central booking and the whole process?
I was cuffed for a total of 26 hours.
You were cuffed for 26 hours.
Yeah.
I'd never been cuffed for 26 hours. That would horrify me.
It was awful, and I was refused a phone call. You're entitled to a phone call by law. I couldn't call my lawyer, and I'm on penicillin. I get a lot of throat infections. I used to get ear infections as a kid, so I'm prone to it. So I'm on penicillin. I'm supposed to take it every 6 hours for 10 days. I've only been on it for like 3 days, and ever since like the New Year's Eve arrest, I wasn't able to take it fully. So like I've been out of sync, you know. And I let them know right away that listen, I'm on penicillin. I need to take it every 6 hours. I'm overdue as it is. And they refused to give me their medication. They said they can't. But I asked to go to the hospital. I was at Grand Central for 6 hours. They never called the hospital for me. They never brought an ambulance. Then they took me to central booking. I told the EMT there my situation. They then took me to the hospital. The doctor would only give me 1 dose. So I'm not still getting my medication. Then they took me to the 20th precinct, which is up at like 81st between Broadway and Amsterdam. And they took me there because I was a special case, because I was on meds. The whole deal was they were supposed to take me there, and every 6 hours I was supposed to be carted back and forth to the hospital to receive 1 dose of penicillin. They locked me up at like 4:30 a.m. I didn't get released till 6 p.m. Never taken to the hospital once.
Was there
I was in a freezing cold cell.
Yep.
Yeah, there's 2 cells.
Where are they located?
When you're in the grand, the main concourse, you go like down. It's like down the stairs near the dining, and it's just like this little.
That's scary though.
It's so funny, and the MTA police were like, it was like their lucky day, because you know they don't get to do this shit ever. So they were all like, oh, and they're doing everything by the book. I mean, I got my rights read to me for the first time. Wow. They gave me a questionnaire to find out if I was suicidal. Wow. Then they asked, you know, are you willing to speak to the police? And like, not till I speak to my lawyer, I'd like a phone call. And of course, I never got that phone call.
And this was for only a disorderly conduct charge.
This is for 3 counts of discon and a resisting arrest.
So this was not a violation. This was not for a serious crime we're talking about. This was for
not the full 26 hours. When I finally went to the 20th precinct, they uncuffed me.
Okay.
But this was for a normal protester charge, basically. This was not for any kind of a serious charge.
Yeah, I was in a freezing cold cell. And at the 20th precinct, one of their windows is blown out, so they taped it with cardboard. And it was like, it was in the teens that night.
Right.
And I was in my cell freezing. There was no toilet paper in my cell, which I consider like cruel torture. So I refused to use the bathroom. And yeah, it was ridiculous, and they never came for me to take me to the hospital to have my meds.
When John and I were locked up, the guy named Justin had his wrists cut, and he was trying to get them to put some bandages on it and some antibiotics, and they were threatening to take him to the hospital for like a cut. And saying, okay, that'll be you're gonna have to pay $500.
Justin almost got charged with assaulting a police officer because one officer pushed him down and he fell on top of another officer behind him, and I fell on her leg, and she wanted to, you know, press charges on him. And then my boyfriend Zach was also arrested right after I was, and he was bit by one of the canine unit dogs. And they tried to say that he wasn't bit and that it didn't happen. And he's got the bite and the bruising around it. They ripped his jeans open. Yeah, we photographed it.
No.
There's footage. You can see the dog. You can see the leash let go, and then you can see them grab the leash and pull the dog back.
The leash
But
got
he'd already
got released and it's on.
They were pulling him back. The dog had his teeth out apparently and like scratched him, like didn't make the full bite. But I mean, still. So he went to the hospital.
And this once again was for a small, not very threatening crowd. That was
trying
just
to inform. Okay, you know what? Sorry. She was trying to inform people. Literally, her alone was trying to inform you about the NDAA, how fucked up it is. Okay, excuse my language. How all returning veterans are terrorist suspects now under this fucking bill. And I point that one out first because I am one.
You're a returning vet.
Not returning recently, but I am in fact a Marine, and it matters to my friends who are coming home from combat, like in the coming months, are going to be labeled a fucking terrorist and watched. What? Anyway, I don't want to be on camera anymore. No, I mean, it's cool, but like, I don't want to steal her thunder.
Basically, the NDAA.
She was trying to do them a fucking favor, and this is what she gets.
Yeah, the public needs to know. The public needs to know about this because the NDAA is a serious law. It's really scary what they're doing. It basically eliminates habeas corpus, which habeas corpus is one of the oldest one of the oldest rights that we have as a nation.
It allows the president to order the infinite detention of American citizens, and the way they've been
without a jury.
The way they've been weaseling out of it was to.
Take it over to that corner.
Okay.
Everybody that wants to join us is welcome to come.
All right.
The way they've been trying to weasel out of it, Obama's press people, they've been saying, well, it doesn't require infinite detention, but it allows infinite detention. And Obama put a 2,000-word signing statement attached to the law.
He said he has reservations about it, but he still signed it anyway.
And he said he wouldn't use it. So if he's saying I have this power,
why have it go into law if you're not going to use it?
Because I'm sure
someone else is going to use it.
I'm sure President Gingrich wouldn't use it, or President Palin, or President.
Yeah, not to say that the upcoming future administrations won't. You know, maybe he won't, but that doesn't matter. I still think it's wrong that he would allow it to be to exist in the first place. And the fact is, you know, this goes against our Fifth Amendment rights, and this goes against our First Amendment rights. And that's all I was doing, was exercising my First Amendment right in a public place, informing people who don't even know about the NDAA. Literally, people do not know what the NDAA is, because this is not public knowledge. You have to really search hard to find information about it. And I mean, you can look up what the law is, but people don't understand, you know, because the media keeps us ignorant as a society. We are dumbed down.
I'm sorry.
As a society.
I'm sorry.
We're moving, right? Yeah.
Let's go right across the street now while we get the lawyer.
Right.
Okay, we're going to cross the street.